Maybe.
Hey everyone, we're back again for our regular Friday afternoon get together. What's new and coming up with Lipedema? I'm Leslyn Keith and I'm with the Lipedema Project, and I'm here with my friend and colleague Gail Straker.
Hi, Leslyn. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here. I'm very grateful that I'm here. And if you think that I am freezing up, you just let me know.
Yes, yeah, we're trying to play with the tech stuff here, and which Gail is in complete charge of, but. And we're trying to make sure that we don't freeze for you, but so hopefully that'll be okay. As usual, like Peggy has just done, we'd love it if you would post that you're here, you're listening, and also where you are in the world. And Peggy's here from Louisiana. Nice to have you with us. Be sure and post something, say hi, any comments or questions, anything that has to do with lipedema, send it out there. We have a couple of things that we wanted to share with you and talk about today, but if anybody has some other things they want to bring up, please do. There's a couple of great events and activities coming up because Lipedema Awareness Month is coming up. So if you want to know how you can be involved and be a part of making people aware of lipedema, then be sure and join us. So Gail, we are
Yes,
doing a couple of things for Lipedema Awareness Month. Do you
we
want to tell
are.
people about the challenge?
Okay, so we're doing a challenge, and the challenge itself is going to be on June 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, and 14th. That's a challenge. We're going to have I guess there's like small webinars, but they're also going to be having something that we actually interact with and do physically. So the challenge is free to all. Invite everybody you know. If you want to upgrade, you can pay for an upgrade, and that would give you a couple of extra days, and it would give you the video. We have to have a tech crew to go through and edit all those videos, and so we do have to. There's a nominal charge for the upgrade, but please make sure that you get a chance to register. I'm going to go ahead and put that the registration link in the comments. LAM stands for Lipedema Awareness Month. So that's how it starts. Here I go. There you go. Right there.
Okay.
Register for it today because it starts on the 7th. That's not this
2 weeks, week and a
week
half.
after. Yeah, we can have. So not this week, but the week after. So make sure that you sign up for that and just click on the link that I put in the comments, and you should be
And
able
let
to.
me give you a little bit
Right
of an idea of what we're going to be talking about. Like the first webinar on the 7th is going to be, what is lipedema? What do you need to know about it? And this could be, even if you really are versed in lipedema, but you're trying to explain it to your family, or you would like your family and loved ones to come to this so they can get the basics. This is really going to, cover all the important knowledge about lipedema in that first one. And then the second one, Siobhan is going to be talking about nutrition and lipedema. So that is going to be really fantastic. On the third webinar, I'm going to be talking about MLD and all about complete decongestive therapy. And I should always say MLD stands for manual lymph drainage. And then the fourth one is going to be all about surgery and using a holistic approach for complementary care. And then the last one on June 14, Siobhan and Gail and Catherine and I are all going to be talking about community and what's up next? What can you do? So those are going to be pretty amazing, wonderful webinars that are going to be, a short presentation, but then a lot of interaction and giving you a plan for where to go for next.
Yeah, and make sure that you sign up early so that you can get all of the all of the information, that we send out, and you get all the registration stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun week, and then we're going to add a few more extra things on there.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that.
And then I just want to say that, let's see, Linda posted from Nanaimo, British Columbia. I've been there on my boat, so I know just where that is. They have a wonderful dragon boat team that's there also. Do you have info on collagen being negative for lipedema? She says that her ER doctor said my blood vessels were leaking faulty collagen. That's interesting. I have never heard that it would be negative for lipedema. And there is some question about it might actually be beneficial for lipedema, particularly if you're showing the connective tissue disturbances, like if you have Ehlers-Danlos or you're having, vascular issues that seem to think that you don't have good connective tissue around your blood vessels.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what she meant, Leslyn, because the way I read it is, do you have info on collagen being negative? Like we have lower collagen.
Oh, okay. I thought
and
that
maybe
maybe
need
if you
more.
took collagen, it'd be bad for you. Okay.
Oh, no.
Good. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah. So there might, yes, and I would say there's not all women with lipedema have a issue with connective tissue and collagen issues, but and there's been a lot of discussion about, should I take a collagen supplement? Because you can get like a powder type thing and do that. So, and what I don't know is if there's any substantiation that taking those supplements really help. But there is a lot of people with lipedema do have connective tissue issues and a deficit in your collagen. Linda also goes on to say, another lady on Learn said today, a doctor said it was bad for lipedema. Okay, now that makes it sound like Linda's saying that taking a collagen supplement might be bad for lipedema. That is interesting. I'd have to go see what that person is saying. All the Learn webinars, their online symposia are free. So that's the Lymphatic Education and Research Network. They're at lymphatic, let's see, their website is lymphaticnetwork.org. If anybody wants to see some of these webinars that like Linda is talking about, so I'll have to check that out, Linda, and see exactly what she was saying. I'll look into that because it is an issue. I mean, I know that we have a connective tissue issue going on with lipedema, and maybe not so good to take supplementation. Have you heard anything, Gail?
I haven't, but I do know that like bone broth makes me feel better. So
yeah,
and bone broth is full of collagen. So
and it's like in a real food type situation with bone broth. It's not like you have this extract that they now made a collagen powder. And there's always issues, I think, when you do that. I mean, one thing they talk about is very, very common, just collagen and protein powders in general can really constipate you because your body's not used to having this nutrient extracted and then taking it independent and not with the rest of the whole food, not just having it alone with that part.
This would be a good research subject that how you do on every other Thursday, you do research updates with Leslyn. Maybe you could dig around in that sometime this summer when you're not boating around
I do remember an article on that I think I have done at least on a flash briefing, but maybe not with my research update Facebook Live. So Linda, I'm going to check into that and also look at what this doctor said on the Learn webinar. And that might be something good for an upcoming research update. So thank you for posting that.
And
Yeah.
before you go on, Leslyn, I noticed that we have 22 people watching right now, but we don't have any hearts, or
We didn't get any love.
we haven't got any love yet. I can't believe
Okay, we
it.
need you to send us some love. I see
Hearts and thumbs up.
Suzanne's here from South Africa. Great to
Yeah, I
have you
see
with
that.
us.
So, I got a heart out of that one.
All right.
Out of that
Okay.
little
So you have to
squeal.
beg for that. You got to beg for
I
that.
know. I got to beg for my loving.
I wanted to talk about something else fun we're going to be doing during Lipedema Awareness Month. And this is what we're calling Tribers at the Table. So people who are members of our Lipedema tribe and others are hosting real live in-person get-togethers, just small little things that we're gathering at a coffee shop or a cafe or something, and informally getting together so we can be with each other person to person. And they're happening all around, well, especially around the US, but also in other countries as well. And so we'll have the link posted for that too.
Yeah, I know that for sure that we're having one in New Zealand because Fiona O'Brien is hosting that one. And I know that we're having one in Winnipeg because Iris Cogger is hosting that one.
Yes.
Is Carrie going to host one in Australia? Do we know? I haven't looked at the web.
I'm looking at the list, oh yes, there's one in Perth. There's going to be one in Perth, Australia. Yes.
That's awesome. And I'm hosting one in Boise. I know there's one in Texas. There's one in Sacramento, a couple in Boston area, Nashville, 2 in Florida, North Carolina.
Siobhan is going to be hosting in Denver, Colorado.
Denver. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Clara Ladani, she says, I have been so afraid to listen. So this is my first time here.
Well, we're so glad you're here, Clara.
Welcome. I'm so glad that you finally took hold and said, okay, I got to hear what these people have to say, because our community, today is just me and Leslyn. We usually have, actually, I can't say we usually have Catherine or Siobhan here. And sometimes we have Catherine and Siobhan or some combination of the 4 of us. And this is just one of our get-togethers. We have 4. Well, there's times when we have 4 a week, either 3 or 4 each week that we get together and talk. And so we're really grateful. Is it Clara?
Yes.
Yeah,
Clara.
I can't tell. Okay, Clara Ladani. So I'm so glad you're here today, Clara. Welcome. Or Sierra. I can't tell. You tell me.
No,
ringing it up.
Gotta get your glasses. It's Clara.
It's Clara. Okay.
Yes.
I'm like, bring that up. I want to see who that is. But yeah, so anyway, sorry, that was kind of a tangent. I am so excited about this personal get together.
Yes.
With all the different dates.
That everybody has been wanting to get together again. We've been locked down and socially distanced, physically distanced for a long time, and just doing everything online. And now to, sit down at a table and actually be able to be there with each other in person is going to be a wonderful thing. And you see, you got a heart from Alexa, and I think Alexa is actually in Brazil. I think she didn't say where she's at, but I think she's in Brazil.
I know she is from Brazil.
Yeah, but maybe she's not physically there right now. So be sure and follow that link. Go to one of those if there's one near to you. If you would like to host one, let us know. You can email me at leslyn@lipedemaproject.org. We'll post that. Email me if you would like to host one in your area because you don't see one that's close to you. It's not too late. I know when Catherine was first putting together the website, she wanted it to be an even number. So when you go and you see the website that lists all the get-togethers, she didn't want it to be an odd number. But we keep adding new places. So right now it's an odd number that's up there. But if you want to add something, if you want to have a host a little get together of 4 or 5 people in your area, then go ahead and sign up and join us and be with us to do that.
And what's really nice about this is these are small groups. These are like-minded people, people who are dealing with this. It might be your first time ever being able to sit down face to face with someone and say, "Oh my gosh, me too. Me too." And that is
Yes.
what I deal with. And laugh and love and just be
Mhm.
with somebody else and know their story and they know yours. I mean, because we're all living this together, it's going to be, I think it's just going to be so joyful, eye-opening. It can be of many sizes. There might be 3 or 4. If I hold mine in Boise, I might end up be sitting there by myself.
You
Okay,
never know.
I
Never
got
know.
2 hours of meditation to do then, right?
That's
Or
right.
I
That's
might
right.
end, who knows, or I might end up with 10 or 12 people. I have
Mhm.
no idea how many
Mhm.
people are going to show up at this point. But there could be many different sizes of these things. Every one of us who's hosting one, we got to pick the date that works best for us, the time that works best for us, and the location that works best for us. We
Mhm.
tried really hard to make sure that there's parking and that it's accessible for those of us who might have some mobility issues and easy to find. And that's kind of what we've all focused on. So
Yes.
know that if you're going to go to one, you'll be welcomed with open arms.
Yes. Yes. Very much so. So we also wanted to just have a short conversation about something of interest to people with lipedema and see if anybody has any comments, questions, anything to add to the discussion. And today, what we thought we'd talk about is movement and exercise. And I know that I think that just the word exercise can be a little bit intimidating for some people. Some people are at the other end of the spectrum and they're used to, really intense workouts on, every day and stuff like that. And they don't feel good if they haven't done their exercise for that day. And other people are like me, like, oh, do I really want to exercise? There's so many other nice sedentary things I'd rather do. But so when you think about, why would this be important for managing your lipedema? And then kind of give you some guidance on what types of movements and exercise would be good. And Alexa just said, you're right. I'm from Brazil, but she lives in Austin. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. Um, so, well, just in general, why do you think exercise is important for someone with lipedema?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, yeah. Do you have any?
Or are you
So we
asking,
know
or are
we
you
know
asking
why
them, how are
exercise
we
or
going to,
movement.
okay.
We know why it's good for your health in general. But
Right.
Gail, what do you think is why would it important be specifically for lipedema?
Okay. So my understanding, I, and when I first started this, I kept hearing someone say gentle exercise, gentle exercise, gentle exercise. And I'm like what? Oh, stretching and yoga, maybe Pilates, maybe water walking. And I kept thinking, or just taking walks. And I kept thinking, well, I know when I exercise that way that that, how do I put it? That my circulation's better,
Mhm.
right? I know that like when I've been sitting too long, my ankles swell. So I'm like, okay, I better get up and walk and pump my ankles. And because my muscles, because I was always told that like your calves are your second heart. They pump and the blood
Mhm.
keeps moving. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of how I understand it.
Mhm. Yeah, and all excellent points. And I like how Fee, I think it's pronounced Fee, says pull all the way. She likes the pool.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
and
that's Fiona.
oh,
See how it
Fiona,
says,
okay.
see if you can read
Cool.
it. It says FOB, Fiona
Oh,
O'Brien.
oh, okay,
FOB.
okay. Okay. So yes, we do. That's one of the best places we recommend to exercise. But, why is it good just for lipedema specifically, and to help you manage the symptoms of lipedema? And one of the symptoms of lipedema could be that your tissues can get very fibrotic, scarred. That's like scar tissue in your fat can make it very fibrotic, and that makes it stiff, and that means that you don't have as much freedom of movement as you maybe previously had. And maybe you're an early stage lipedema and you haven't developed that, and exercising and movement can a way to head off that fibrosis and scar tissue from forming. And so this is very important to managing lipedema by keeping your tissues and your joints, ligaments, and everything like that flexible, and giving you this freedom of movement. And I think, Gail, one of the reasons why we always heard gentle, gentle, gentle exercise, which I have to differ with you on Pilates. I found Pilates to be very strenuous.
I did too, but I hear Pilates, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not getting on that board or whatever it is.
But one of the reasons why we're always saying gentle, gentle, gentle is because a lot of times we're getting women who are advanced stages of lipedema and already have a great deal of pain, and maybe already have lost some movement, some mobility. And so we have to start at that gentle place. Maybe in their history, they had done a 5K run, or they've done some pretty strenuous exercise in their past, and they think that, well, this will be good just to go right back to there. And you really have to start slow. You have to start very gentle to make sure that your body can take it. And so a lot of people are kind of at that gentle place, and then they always stay at that gentle place. For instance, with our tribe that we do, Miranda, that it's a gentle stretching and slower movement type of thing. And that may be the place that's always going to be appropriate forever for some people. Other people might be progressing on to something more strenuous. It's very individual. I would say also one of the big components of movement and exercise is that it makes you breathe more deeper. And that breathing, we know, is so beneficial for our lymphatics, the functioning of our lymphatics. And so if you have any problem with swelling, congestion, feeling of tightness and heaviness, for instance, in your legs, doing an activity that makes you take deep breaths, particularly through your nose, is going to be super beneficial for managing your lipedema symptoms as well.
Yeah. And if you think about the way we breathe when we work out really hard, we don't breathe through our nose necessarily, right? I mean, if we're playing, for those of us who still can play tennis, oh, wouldn't that be a dream? Okay. So those of us who are still like playing tennis or whatever, boy, when we're doing that, we don't necessarily breathe calmly. We're just, at least I'm just sucking air. It's just, but now swimming is a very slow, deep, rhythmic breathing, right? For those of us who swim. And that's that breathing is yes. A good point.
Yeah. And so Louisa asks, how do I know if I have a beginner stage of lipedema? She did the quiz and it says maybe she has lipedema, maybe she doesn't. It's kind of one of those ones by her answers. It's not definitive, but and also, the stage of lipedema, it's really about how your body looks and how, when you're palpating it, how it feels. But some of the symptoms associated with lipedema, like pain, like bruising, can be quite severe even in the stage 1 lipedema. So I think that in general, someone who has stage 1 lipedema usually has less severe symptoms, and maybe they can exercise more intensely, but it's not necessarily so. You could have stage 1 lipedema, meaning your legs are not so large yet. You don't feel a lot of nodules and stuff like that in the fat, but you have intense pain. In that case, you're going to need to do gentle exercise, Because one thing that we do with exercise and lipedema is not a no pain, no gain type thing. Like you have to push yourself and hurt yourself. You shouldn't be doing that. So it's very individual to your own response to the exercise. So
Yeah,
if it needs to start gentle, that's where you start.
Leslyn, when we've talked about some of the symptoms of lipedema, and I think that it was because of my lipedema that I developed an adverse reaction to exercise.
Yes.
Because it always was, I'd go to the gym, and it was like, my legs are just so heavy and they're just so, and I
Yes.
can't get any of this weight off. And I would just get so frustrated. And I didn't want people to, as my legs got larger, I'd be embarrassed because I couldn't step up on that stair step aerobic thing. I couldn't, it was
Right.
like, it was so much work. And so I
Mhm.
became anti-gym.
Yes.
I really did, because it was too hard. Now that didn't mean they were painful. They
Yeah.
were just heavy.
Yes.
And so when we talk about pain with lipedema, not everybody feels pain the same way. I mean, some
Mm-hmm.
people, they ache, right? For me, it was my kids had the boniest bottoms because they always hurt me, or they'd walk on me, or I'd put them on my lap, and I had that type of pain. And so when we think about these symptoms, if your legs are keeping you from functioning the way you think you should be functioning, yeah, take a good look at exactly, do you feel pain, or do you just feel a dull, heavy ache? That's pain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So don't let just that if you don't feel pain, like screaming pain, don't let
Yes.
that tell you that you don't have it. I guess it's a validation, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And there's so many people that, when you've had pain for long term, as a coping mechanism, you may sublimate that pain and you go, oh, yeah, it's not that bad. I've had patients that, I have them scale their pain on scale it on rate it from 0 to 10, 10 being the worst. And they'd say, yeah, it's not that bad today. It's only a 7. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of pain. But for
Yeah,
them, because it's not a 9 or a 10, oh, it's not that bad. So when
right,
we have our minds are pretty powerful, and we have ways of making it not be so bad, but it is pretty bad. So it for a lot of people, being gentle to start out with is going to be preferred. And then if you do okay, then you might increase the intensity, or the length of time you're exercising. You might change things up as you do okay. It always make you feel better, not worse. Kathy
right.
says that walking is hard because your mobility is down. So we're talking about chair exercises. You do stuff while you're sitting in a chair, like we do with our Miranda classes. So there's lots of YouTube classes where you can do yoga sitting in a chair. There's lots of breathing exercises involved in it, and gentle movements that can be done with a chair. Fiona talks about using a snorkel in a pool that really facilitates your breathing. And then you also don't have to do that severe neck turn to get your breaths too. So maybe that's using a snorkel can be
Yeah.
good.
And a lot of people they walk in the pool.
Yes.
Or I do know that a lot of our women who come to our what we call the Miranda class, they use the exercises because some of them are standing only exercise, and they're not able to do those exercises necessarily sitting down. And so when they go to the pool, they do those exercises, like,
Ah,
because when you're in the pool, you can do heel raises in the
yes.
pool. But when you're standing on a hard surface and you're trying to do your heel raises, we might not have the strength yet to do heel raises on dry land, but we can do it in the
Sometimes,
pool.
sometimes gravity is not our friend.
Some
So,
okay. I mean, yes, we need gravity, but come on, come on,
but,
dude.
but being in the pool, we don't have as much gravity, so it really helps.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And we have, and the other thing that's wonderful about the pool is that it's a as that water move, as we move through the water, that water is doing this, right? And it's graduated. There's more there's more pressure
Hmm.
down closer to the bottom of the pool and less and so it's moving. Oh, wait a minute. Graduated pressure. I now have manual of drainage going on as I
Yes,
walk,
yeah.
right?
Uh,
It's so good. The pool's wonderful. So just walking in a pool, if you have an outdoor waist high pool, it'd be awesome.
yes.
Walking and just walking circles in the pool.
Well, and you use a
Wonderful.
pool, right?
I
Gail, you
during
use a
during
pool.
during the summer when our pool is up out
So
here.
what do you wear in the pool? What's it?
Oh, well, Fiona will like this. My swim togs, as Fiona calls them, her togs. Um, they are. It's a swim capri, so it goes down just below my knee. And some people call them rash guards, but mine is an actual swim capri that goes down to my knees, and a tankini top because I'm two sizes. I'm one size waist down and the other size waist up. But and some people you can also find swim shirts. So it's a maybe long sleeves if you don't, and so that's what I wear in the pool. Some
Hmm.
women that I know, they wear swim dresses. Others might wear a one piece that goes, just a basic one piece bathing suit. I don't enjoy a one piece bathing suit for myself because that's too much skin exposure for the lower part of my eyes. I can see my legs, right? So I'm like, the lower part of my eyes go, no, I don't want to see my legs. But if I put on the swim capris, then I don't have any problem going from the locker room to the pool, climbing up, because I have an above ground pool, so I got to climb up over that thing, and I don't have any problem doing that with that because I don't have that self conscious, and so I go out and do it. But if I
Hmm.
was self conscious about my legs and the exposure of them, then I wouldn't be as willing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For myself, but that's
Yes.
me. That's me. Others have no problems doing it. Others wear. I know some of our women wear almost like a compression legging.
Uh-huh.
Who is it? One of our ladies has one that has a stirrup on the bottom of it,
Oh, to keep
I
it,
guess
hold
to
it
keep
down.
it to hold it down, and
Yeah.
she wears full length legging in the pool.
And you can
And
even
then
wear swim shoes. If
yes,
you have a problem with a tenderness or you want to just protect your feet, you can even put water shoes on
yeah,
for being in
yeah,
the pool.
and so if there's a solution to keep that you can look at to get you into the pool, some of our members have a hard time getting in and out of the pool
Yes.
at particular gyms, at particular pools, because the pool itself doesn't have good
Access.
handrails,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And
Hmm.
or they don't have a full easy step down. So you do have to shop around. You do have to make sure that wherever
Hmm.
you're going, wherever rec center you're going to, you can get in and out of the pool by yourself. And if you can't, most pools, public pools, will have a chairlift.
Yes.
I know that for some of us, that's hard emotionally to use the chairlift,
Yes.
but those are available too. I know one of our members, she could get into the pool through the steps, but coming out, the handle, the rail didn't go far enough
Yeah.
out. So she had a hard time going up onto the last step.
Yes.
So, she had to be really careful. She finally found a pool that had a railing that went far enough out so she didn't fall. And she takes her cane right to the edge of the pool, or her
Mhm.
walker right to the edge of the pool. So it's
And
it's really
so,
important for us to be conscious of those things.
yes, and we are running out of time. I wanted just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
address a couple of things really quickly because we're out of time. We've gone a little bit extra today, but Jackie Jepson says you'd like to host a gathering in, I think you're in the Bay Area of California. Be sure and email me, Leslyn at lipedemaproject.org, Jackie, and so maybe you can host something there. And then also we had, Jackie also wanted to know updates about getting diagnosis and treatment for lipedema through Kaiser. And I do not know what Kaiser's doing. They're been kind of notoriously behind the times with lymphedema. And so I got to think they're probably not really up on lipedema. But if you would like to try to find someone who is knowledgeable about lipedema, I would like to give you the link to a page on a lymphatic education and research network. They have some information about finding a good therapist. So you can see it's posted right there at lymphaticnetwork.org, and then has find a therapist. And so getting good treatment by someone who's knowledgeable about lymphedema and asking if they're also knowledgeable about lipedema. And I know there's plenty in the Bay Area. I just don't know if there's any through Kaiser. So answering those two questions, is there any last minute stuff you want to do, Gail, before we sign off?
No, I'm just glad to be back on here with you. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's
And it's easy to keep going because it's so fun to talk to you, Gail.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we do enjoy ourselves. I do want everybody to know that if at any time that you need to contact one of us, we do have Leslyn's email up there, or you can always, write to Catherine. But just since she said, "Hey, that's my email," send her a message. She'll make sure that the rest of us get what we need to hear from you.
Yeah, if you just send
So
it to me, I'll make sure that it gets to the right person.
yeah. So yeah, I think that that's good for today. 37 minutes. Oh my gosh,
Yes,
Leslyn, you did not keep us in. You're my timekeeper.
I know. We kept going, and we were talking about interesting stuff. But thank you all for being here with us today, and we look forward to chatting with you again next Friday, same time. Bye-bye,
Yeah,
everybody.
so